In this video, I'm going to go through some food photography props you can find in your house. What's up YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Amy, and on this channel we discuss everything to do with food photography. So if that interests you, click subscribe down below. I think I've already mentioned this in a video, but at the moment I'm moving house. I was looking through my cupboards trying to decide what I can throw away, and to be honest, I didn't throw anything away. But I did realise how many props I've got around my house that I just generally use in a lot of food photography. And I thought this video would be a great idea to make at the moment, as not only are a lot of the shops still shut here, well, most except supermarkets are still shut here in Scotland, but food photography gets really expensive when you're buying a lot of camera gear, a lot of equipment, a lot of food, and a lot of food photography props. You can save a bit of money with this by going around and finding some of these props that are already in your house. You might not be able to find all of these in your house, but I'm sure you'll be able to find quite a few of them. So the first one is trays. They don't have to be quite as old and used as this one. You can use them new or old. These are really great to either have your subject sat on them to give it some height, or if you're looking down from below to give it that extra layer, or if you're having something inside it, it's a nice way of framing your subject. Another great thing about these trays is if you look at the back of this one, it has some really nice texture and interest. And if you're shooting something quite small, this actually can work as a really nice background. I'll try to find a few photographs where I've used some of these, and I'll pop them up as I'm talking about them. The second prop you might find in your house is baking parchment. This might be one of my favourites on the list. It's so good to add that extra layer, to add a bit more story to it if you've got cookies laid out onto it. You can either have it nice and flat and make everything look really nice and uniform, or you can sort of scrumple it up and have it looking a bit more rough and adding a lot of texture to your scene. Having it nice and scrumpled is a really good way of adding that kind of organised mess look that works really well with food photography. The third item on my list is pans. So just your average run-of-the-mill pans that you use in any of your daily cooking. It could be a frying pan, big giant casserole pan, little pasta pans like this. These are a great addition to any shoot involving some cooked food, and it doesn't matter how battered they are. Sometimes the more battered the better. I have got a pan which I will never use again because it looks absolutely horrendous, but it's really great in photos. I don't use it anymore because it's lost all of its non-stick. It's a nightmare to work with, but it's so battered and misshapen, it looks really great in a sort of rustic image. Pans are really good at setting a scene, like you've got it just kind of peeking out, ready to be served up, and it's really good at adding that extra story to your images. Number 4 on our list is plants or flowers, that sort of thing. These aren't really food related, unless you've maybe got something like a basil plant, which would be absolutely excellent. But these are really good to kind of have in the back or foreground of an image, and it adds depth to your image. Like, it gives it that 3D feel, like there's something going on behind or in front, and it just makes it really pretty. They're nice. This has got a lovely matte vase, and we have absolutely loads of plants around our house. We love plants, and they look really great in photos. It doesn't matter how big or little your plants are, there's always going to be a great way of having it in an image. I've used some absolutely massive plants kind of coming in from the side, and some little ones in pots like this, just at the back or front. Like I said, just to add that depth to an image, to give it some background and some foreground, not just exactly that plane that your subject is on. This one's a spiky one, I'm just going to put him down. Number 5 is fabrics. So I've got a collection here of some really great fabrics I've just gone and found around my house. So we've got things like scarves, kitchen tea towels, pillowcases, and even a t-shirt. These are a great way of adding some nice soft texture to your images without having to go out and spend a fortune on really expensive linen napkin. These two are a cotton texture and they're really great to work with. They're super soft, they just kind of fold easily, and generally sometimes easier to work with than actual linen napkins. I'm not saying have it showing the big sock area where it's quite clearly a pillowcase, just having a little bit of it peeking into your scene looking like a napkin, or even with things like scarves or dresses. You don't need to go out and buy wacky colours, but if you want something wacky, if you've already got it, just use it. They've got some great textures and they're really going to add to your images. Number 6 are cooking utensils. So this can be anything. We've got things like whisks, rolling pins, cheese graters. These are all great things to use in your food photography, and the things we generally all have lying around our house. These are really great to add to an image if they were used in either the cooking, baking or making of your subject. I mean, don't go adding in a whisk. Don't go adding in a rolling pin to a picture of some stew. But if it was something like dough, then this would be great to have in the shot. This is going to help set a scene of your image like it's in the kitchen and it's just been made, adding to that story element and adding a bit more interest to the images. Number 7 is serving dishes. These are something I'm sure everybody's got one or two at home. I know I've got more than needed. These are a great thing to have around if you're photographing things that would generally be served around, as it adds to that kind of story of it being served up from this dish. They can tend to be quite big, but you don't need to show the whole of it in the scene. You could just maybe have a corner peeking in or half of it peeking in, and then have your main dish in the middle. This is a great way of making your scene feel like there's a lot more outside of the shot going on. Making your scene look like it's going on outside of the image that you can see makes it feel a bit more grand. It makes people think when they look at your image, which is going to make them look at it for longer. And as it's something we all tend to have at home, there's no need to go out and buy new ones just for your photography pot collection. Number 8 is cooling racks or racks from your oven. Or your kind of oven shelf racks. These are a great way to serve up things like cookies or brownies, any baked goods that have just come out of the oven. Great way to photograph them on cooling racks. It makes it feel like they're really warm and hot, like they've freshly come out of the oven, even if you've let them cool down for photography purposes. This is again adding to that story element of the image. And it doesn't matter if they're battered or old or they're nice, shiny and new. However they are, they're going to look really great in your photos. That one is a really good one for anything that gets like baked. That's all for my home found props, guys. I hope you liked this video. Let me know in the comments below if either one of these was a surprise to you, something you'd not really thought of, or let me know if you think I've left something out. If there's something you always use from your home, let me know in the comments below. Thanks guys, see you in the next video. Bye.
That's a wrap.
Action.